Hey traders, CN Trader here again. I wanted to do a video on doing some top-down analysis with the harmonic rhythm of the market. And you see here we're starting at the monthly here. You can see up here USD, JPY. That's the dollar yen currency pair monthly. And you'll notice I put a line here, and you could see that if we look left, we see lots of structure that has shown a lot of respect into this area, into this zone, so to speak. We could see that right there. It goes all the way back to 1999, 1998. So when I first look at this, I could see a pattern that is potentially developing. Now this is a monthly chart, so it could take quite some time for this pattern to develop. But we take this swing low and we go up to this swing high. You can see we've come down to a 50% retrace, right about where that structure is, and we can see how well price respected that structure. It took several months. Remember, patience and discipline. This took several months to develop in order until it eventually exited out of there with some velocity. And we could see one, two, three, 4, 5, 6 months roughly in this area back in 2016. So we got a 50% retrace, and that immediately makes me think of the potential for a bat pattern. We get a 50% retrace, we get X to A to B, B to C, and then C to D right down here to this area, which is an 886. And you see that right in this area, this structure right here comes into play. Now, again, it's a monthly chart. It takes time to develop. That's not going to happen tomorrow, next month, unless something radical happens. It is not going to happen next month. This could take a couple years, a year or two. But right now, you could see that we are having dollar weakness, and in my opinion, we are in the early stages of a weak dollar cycle. Does that mean we go straight down? No, it does not. So let's take a look at, I'm going to clear this out of here so we can have a clean screen, and we're going to scroll down to the weekly and see what's going on the weekly here. Excuse me. So in the weekly, we see we're at a point of structure right now. Actually, you could see this right here. We see this right over here, and we're going to evaluate that as well on a daily. But in a weekly, I see something very similar happening, where we can come out to here, and let's grab the fib, and we got this swing low, we got this swing high, and you can see we come down to a 50% retrace right into here. We don't quite get that 618. Okay, so look at what we have over here. We got the 886. So that automatically says, okay, we're looking at a potential bat pattern that is potentially developing, I should say. Let me see that. Now, that 886 comes in right where we got that nice monthly structure. And look at it on the weekly, it's just as nice. So if I zoom out on this weekly, you could see it. Structure here, structure there, structure, structure, structure. It goes all the way out on the weekly. All right? So we can be pretty sure that when price gets to that area, it's going to do something. Right? So what's it going to do? Well, we've already tested the area of the structure back in 2016 quite significantly. So the question is, if we come back down to this area, are we going to jump out of there and go up? Or are we going to break through, come back and test it, maybe for an opportunity to come down to our monthly target or potential area? If we measure this swing high to swing low this way, we got a 707, not quite a 786. or we have a 707, which sometimes could lead to, if we do get that dollar strength Trump was talking about yesterday, could lead to a butterfly, but that remains to be seen. But at any rate, we have this nice little bat pattern that's taking place, and again, this isn't going to be happening overnight. This is a weekly chart, so this is going to take a few weeks to a few months. Right? We saw on previous posts and videos how long sometimes things can take to come out of this area. But this is an area of structure that is significant. The last time we got out of here, we came in and out, came in and out, came in and out. We thought we broke out, right? We almost did, and then we came down. They hit the line to the dot, to the penny almost. Let's see. The low on this was 101.18. Where's my line? 101.14. Pretty close. All right, and they came down and they shot out of there and proceeded over the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks to go higher. So it is an area of demand. There's an area that has been protected on more than one occasion. We came up to it and we fell apart, came up again, fell apart, and then we finally got through and came back and tested, spent some time, and then see you later. All right, so we're going to watch how price behaves when we get into this area next time. This is going to be a very important area that we're going to want to pay attention to on the weekly chart. All right, now we're going to scroll down to the daily, because daily is pretty interesting too. Now, I posted this chart on the thread, so many of you have already seen this, but you look here, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more. You look here, again, we got something that should look familiar to you. 50% retrace. Right off the bat, I'm looking at a potential bat pattern completion. All right, so the swing low to the swing high, X to A to B. Come over here, B to C, C to D, down here. All right, we're going to put a line right on that 886. All right, first thing we're going to want to do, first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to go out to the weekly. What do I see on this weekly chart? Where this line is. Look at the structure here. Came down, broke down below it, closed below it, and then they gapped up right above it, and see you later, took off. Look over here, same thing. Came down, closed the week high, lower low, green close, gapped up, took off. Over here we see structure being respected. Breaks through, comes back up, tests, comes down. All right, anything else we see? Keep going left. Look at the structure here. Look at the structure here. Look at the structure, structure. All right, so this is a significant area on a weekly chart as well. So we're going to want to pay attention to that. I'm going to move this over here a little bit now that we've gotten a chance to see that line. So I'm going to take this out. And what I like to do is I just like to draw a little box here, because you can see what happens. They come and they gap. This is where the buying demand came in. So I'm going to be watching this area closely to see how price behaves. Now we have something happening next week. Some very important news coming next week. So how nicely this is coming in to this area as we're expecting some pretty decent news or some significant news, whatever it is. Now FOMC is coming on Wednesday. That could be a non-event. It's Janet Yellen's last meeting, I believe. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out and what they decide to do and what their terminology is going to be, if anything is going to be changing at all. And we also have the NFP number on Friday. So we'll want to trade with caution. If we break through this area, we may want to look for a retest, for a move down lower. We'll see how that plays out. But let me show you something that's happening on the 4-hour. The same pattern. And we see we have these nice little moves up off of here, and we break through. We got, move 1 comes back up. Move 2 comes back up on Trump's terminology yesterday, I should call it, is his attempt to make things right for Mnuchin's jibber jabber. But we see that was not, that didn't last long, did it? And we came right back down, and we're coming right back down into this area. So, but I'm going to add something in here. I'm going to bring this up here. I'm going to show you guys something you guys could use. I don't usually use it often, but it's a tool. It's an RSI, and I have the 70 and 30, and then I also have the 80 and 20 marked here. And you could see on this move yesterday, we came down into this 20, this oversold area, and we got a nice bounce on the Trump effect. All right, and we're coming back down. We got a lower low here, but we got a higher high here. So it's going to be interesting to see how price behavior develops in here. We want to pay attention to that and see if we got any kind of divergence that takes place that could lead us to a potential opportunity. Now, where do we go? Well, there's lots of things you can use for targets. You can use this area here where selling came in, and you can look left, look at that structure. Got some structure in here. And this is really where the selling came in on a 4-hour chart, on a daily chart. You can see it as well. You can look at these areas here where selling came in, or where the area that broke. And if you look left, you can see some structure in here and structure in here. And then some people like to use the B part of the pattern for their area where they want to take profits. And you can see that the selling came in this area as well. And we got another low. So we got a higher, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we are in a downtrend on a 4-hour. And again, you can look at this area here, and you could see that we have the potential to have some divergence that could be developing here that could lead us to an opportunity to go long. All right, but we'll want to be, well, obviously that's a counter trend trade, and we'll want to be cautious, we'll want to be patient, and we want to stay disciplined when doing that. I hope this helps. I hope you guys learn a little something, or at least see the importance of doing top-down analysis. You could see how it could give you some clues into which direction we could be heading in, and where price can potentially see some behavior that leads you to be able to make some decent bank. Enjoy, have fun, trade your plan, make a great day, do your own due diligence, and may we all make bank. Game-changing bank, the kind of bank that just makes you think and grow.